helicopters overhead. Just on the other side of the fence of the National Zoo of Sri Lanka, a hotel full of tourists from all over the world just wanting to celebrate Easter. Just before 9 a.m. yesterday, an explosion shook the air. The church was packed with brightly dressed people on Easter Sunday. It wasn't just one church. It was church after church after church. Yesterday, a day of peace. A day where, if just the Christians would listen to the message of Christ, to love our enemies, to forgive, to not have hatred, the world would truly change. A day of peace, a day of hope, a day of the resurrection of the man, despite our darkest moments. The day marking his resurrection. It became a day of blood and ash and screaming and loss. 9 bombings yesterday. 207 people dead. 450 wounded. And they were all chosen specifically for their religious belief. Literally targeted at their church. Some people did something, all right. We've heard that phrase recently. We know it was a day where some people did something. Sri Lanka has been plagued by violence throughout its history, but it's been nearly a decade since the end of its civil war, and yesterday had nothing to do with Sri Lankan politics and everything to do with religious persecution. Christians specifically targeted. There's no doubt Christians, worshipers of Christ, believers in Christianity, Christians, not Easter worshipers. Easter worshipers seemed to be the descriptor of the day yesterday. How's that for a coordinated response? They weren't Easter worshipers. We don't worship Easter. We worship a risen Lord, the Christus, Christ. That's what makes us Christians, not Easter worshipers. Christians face a new persecution, a growing persecution. In fact, it's the worst persecution since the days right after Christ. On Easter, Jesus performed a miracle by rising from the dead. But perhaps we're so close to being lost into nothingness that perhaps it will be another miracle if Christians even begin to stand up, let alone rise. It's time for Christians to recognize what's happening to their faith. Is faith in America dead? Can it rise again? Does anyone really even know what it means to be a Christian? Is empathy dead in America? Will Christians begin to stand up in defense of their own faith? I'm not sure. But we have to. And we have to do it pretty darn soon.